Hey, Bat fans, we got to get talking. The Batman 2 comes out in just over 2 years. That's right, October 1st, 2027 is the release. But let's talk about everything we know about Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2. Hey everyone, this is Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and looking forward to the Batman Part 2, hit that subscribe button. I'll be talking about it and discussing it with you all until its release and then afterwards. Look, the other day, an interview with Matt Reeves on the red carpet from the Emmy Awards was released by Josh Horowitz over at MTV News, and it got everyone talking. I did a video on that. You can check out on the channel today. I want to talk about everything we knew about the Batman Part 2 because that got me really excited for the Batman Part 2. The enthusiasm in which Matt Reeves talks and discusses that script got me hyped for this movie, so I want to talk about it. Here's everything we know going into the Batman Part 2.
Well, once you get past the origin tale, which we didn't quite do, but we did something that referred to as origins, then you start telling the Rogues Gallery story.
Things are shaping up to be not just another Batman movie, but maybe the most epic, most personal, most gray area Batman story we've ever seen on the big screen. Matt Reeves has been dropping nuggets. Colin Farrell's Penguin has set up the board, and now we can actually see the direction this story is headed in. Let's break it all down. Story, villains, Gotham's new order, and why this film is going to hit way harder than Part 1.
The city streets are crowded for the holiday.
So first big fact, the Batman Part 2 takes place almost immediately after the events of the Penguin series. That means if you've skipped out on the Max show, on HBO Max, whatever it is called, you're going to miss some crucial setup. Oz will be Gotham's crime boss, and that's when the movie picks up. Reeves has said this whole universe is structured like a long-form crime saga. Think Godfather meets Batman, so the TV show bleeds directly into the next movie. And Reeves will not be holding back in the Batman Part 2 whatsoever. He's been calling Part 2 epic, his own word. And if you've been following his work, you know Reeves doesn't throw that around lightly. This isn't just a little more of Gotham rain and shadows. He's going bigger, broader, pushing the story outward. Bigger visuals, bigger stakes, but also way heavier psychological pressure on Bruce. Matt Reeves has said that Bruce Wayne is going to find it very hard to be Batman in this movie. We saw the seeds of that in Part 1. He ends the first film thinking he's figured something out, that maybe Batman can be hope, but Reeves is pulling the rug out. In Part 2, Bruce no longer sees the world in black and white. Everything's murky, everything's complicated, and worst of all, he blames himself for the chaos that Gotham is in. Matt Reeves has said, Batman's out there trying to grapple with the aftermath of everything that happened, which to some degree, he blames himself for. That is important because we're not just dealing with Gotham's villains this time, we're dealing with a Batman who doubts whether he's even helping. That's a dangerous headspace and exactly where you want Bruce for an epic second chapter. All right, let's talk about some plot themes. Reeves said Part 2 will dive deeper into the corruption and mystery of Gotham. Everything in the first film was basically the surface. The Iceberg Lounge, Falcone's network, Riddler scratching at the edges. But Part 2, it's digging into the roots of corruption. The kind of rot Bruce didn't even know existed. Reeves has said, it's another mystery that's going to dig into the epic story about deeper corruption. And it's going into places that he couldn't even anticipate in the first one. The seeds of where this goes are all in the first movie. Interesting, but what are those seeds? The Wayne family legacy, the sins of the past, the cracks in Gotham's foundation, the fact that Bruce Wayne isn't the clean-cut symbol of good he thought he was. Expect this movie to go hard at Bruce's history, his family, his own privilege, and twist it against him through the villain. Speaking of villains, Reeves has confirmed the antagonist is someone who's never really been done on film before. That immediately rules out the Joker as the main baddie, I guess. Sofia Falcone, Reeves says no, she won't have any part in this one. Though he does tease that Sofia Falcone may come back in either Part 3 or in Penguin Season 2 or another spin-off show. I think that Emmy win for Christine Milioti really just shows that this is a character that they want to continue to use and utilize. And then, of course, we have Robin, who might be stepping in, right? Because we've heard rumors about Zoe Kravitz, which I'll get to in just a little bit, but Robin is someone who's been rumored for quite some time, and Matt Reeves and even James Gunn have never explicitly said that Robin will not be in this one, where Matt Reeves did say that Sofia Falcone is not in the Batman Part 2. He never came out and said that Robin is not in the Batman Part 2. James Gunn came out and said only like 6 people have read the script, but he never said that Robin is not in this. So Jeff Snyder is reporting that Robin is in this. James Gunn kind of refuting it. Matt Reeves staying silent on the whole thing. So where Robin ends up at this point in time, we don't know. But my money is on Robin being in the Batman Part 2 as of this recording. Of course, based on the interview from Josh Horowitz over on the Emmy red carpet, we have to ask ourselves, who are the villains and what could they be looking at? And we're going deep into Bruce's past, and I did a video on this already, so I'm not going to touch on it very long here, but I am going to mention it seems very likely that we're headed towards Hush. A deep-cut villain tied directly to Bruce's history who literally weaponizes identity and trust. Perfect for a Bruce-centric story. But based on everything else that we know about the Batman Part 2, it really seems to feel like, with the cracks in Gotham's foundation, it feels like we could be heading towards the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls, of course, are a secret society that reveals Gotham's corruption runs back centuries, way past Falcone, way past the Waynes. This really lines up with Reeves' seeds in the first film comment, or finally we get a Reeves-style mix-up where he kind of blends a couple of characters or utilizes a bunch of them. He did say in his interview that, most of these Batman movies, they go past the origin story of Batman and then they focus on the rogues gallery of villains. So it doesn't sound like the villain is going to be the one we're focusing on. We're going to focus more on Bruce Wayne, and we'll probably focus on Bruce Wayne through the villain, and that could be, any number of characters. You pick them: Scarecrow, Hugo Strange. Maybe they're working together in ways we've never quite seen before on film. And that brings us to Zoe Kravitz. Catwoman. Reports are indicating that she is not going to be a part of the Batman Part 2, though nothing official has been confirmed. Matt Reeves, of course, did not mention whether or not she will be in here. The only person he has removed from the table is Sophia Falcone. No matter who the villain is, the point is clear. This villain is tied to Bruce's personal life. Reeves keeps repeating that. This isn't just another guy in a mask to punch. It's someone who forces Bruce to confront who he is and what his family means to Gotham. Now let's talk about the Batman Part 2 post the Penguin series. With Falcone gone, Oz is stepping into the role of Kingpin. Penguin on HBO showed his rise. By the time Part 2 starts, Oz has leveled up, which raises the question, could we actually see Mayor Oz? It makes sense. Gotham is desperate. Bella Réal is trying to clean up the city with her anti-crime task force, and Penguin could position himself as the savior businessman while running crime under the table. That dynamic would put him perfectly against both Bella and Bruce. That could be fascinating drama. Now, of course, we just had a mayoral race in the Batman Part 1, and this picking up so soon after that movie, I don't see another mayoral race happening. If we do get Mayor Penguin, it will be in the third movie. And speaking of Bella Réal, she's not going away. She's building that anti-corruption task force, and that means Bruce can't just be the lone crusader anymore. Batman is actively trying to change through politics. That's going to complicate Batman's place in the city even further. If Bella's trying to do it the right way, where does that leave the guy in the mask punching criminals in the street? Here's why I'm so damn excited for Part 2. I mean, aside from the obvious. Reeves and co-writer Matt Tomlin have openly said they're trying to make this movie superior to the first, and the cast has echoed it. But it also means they're not just repeating themselves. They're pushing scope, visuals, and emotional stakes. And Colin Farrell just said once again in another interview that Matt Reeves is a genius, that he read the script again and he said that he can't believe how good this script is. Even though he has a small role in it, he is fascinated by the world, by this story that Matt Reeves and Matt Tomlin have developed. So let's start piecing this all together. Part 1, Batman realizes he can't just be fear. He has to be hope. Part 2, Bruce realizes the line between justice and corruption's way blurrier than he thought, and that maybe he is part of the problem. It's brutal. It's heartbreaking. It's a Batman story. That's exactly the kind of second act story you want in a trilogy. Think about The Dark Knight. It wasn't just bigger in explosions, it was bigger in heartbreak, in moral dilemmas, in the way Gotham itself was put on trial. Reeves is aiming for that level of escalation, but through a different lens, a detective epic, a legacy thriller, and a character study of Bruce Wayne. Let's recap all the essentials here. The timeline, it picks up right after the Penguin. Tone, Reeves is calling it epic, bigger, broader, and more cinematic in scope. Bruce's arc, Batman struggles with guilt, no longer sees the world in black and white, questions his role. A mystery that digs deeper into Gotham's corruption with seeds planted from the first film. The villain will be tied directly to Bruce's history, and it's someone or some aspect of someone, something that has never been done on film before, quite like this before. The Gotham players, Penguin ascends as Kingpin, maybe even Mayor at some point. Bella Réal builds an anti-crime task force. Sophia Falcone not in this one, but Reeves will not rule out using her in the future. Creative mandate, Reeves and Tomlin aiming to make this film superior to the first, with the cast hyped about all of that. And also, when they made the first Batman, they were calling producers from the Dark Knight trilogy saying, we're going to one up you. Our plan is to make a movie better than you. Now, whether or not they did, that's subjective. We all have feelings on it. But when the goal is to be the best, I think that's a good goal. That is a good goal to aim for. This won't just be another Batman sequel. This is the second chapter of what's clearly a very carefully built trilogy. One where Bruce Wayne is the real subject, not just Batman. And if Reeves sticks the landing, we're talking about a trilogy that could genuinely sit beside Nolan as one of the greatest comic book sagas ever. Batman 2 is coming. It'll be epic, it'll be darker, and it's going to be a lot grayer. It's more personal, and honestly, it sounds exactly like the type of Batman movie I've been craving. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments down below. Does this sound like something you want? Are you excited for this movie? I'm excited for Batman in blue and gray. At some point, maybe not. Not in this one, obviously. I cannot wait to see what they do. I love the Batman. The Penguin I thought was just brilliant television, and what we're going to get in the Batman Part 2 in just over 2 years is something that I am very much looking forward to. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I thank you so much for watching, spending some time with me today. It means a lot. Thank you so much. May you be the master of your own universe.